What's up, you guys? It's Cody coming back at you with another video, and today I'm just going to kind of do a walk around the truck and kind of show you guys all the parts and upgrades and mods that I've done to my truck. A lot of you guys may be new here and you're curious about everything that I've done to it, like the lift size and the headlights and the bumper and stuff like that. So today I'm going to kind of walk around the truck, hopefully answer a lot of those questions. Maybe even for those of you guys that haven't followed me for a while, you kind of maybe wanted to ask me about something that you see. By the way, don't ever be afraid to comment down below and ask me any questions you have, and I'll be glad to answer anything that I can. That being said, let's go ahead and start walking around the truck and going over all the upgrades. Now, I have done a couple of videos kind of similar to this one before, but of course we're always adding new parts to the truck and constantly putting new things on it and changing it and doing stuff that, you know, I kind of wanted to do an update video. So that being said, first of all, this is a 2001 7.3 liter powerstroke. I bought this thing almost completely stock. This is a view of the whole truck. Here is a view of it when I bought it. So as you can see, it has come a long way. It was pretty much almost stock. It had like it was like a 6-inch lift and 35-inch tires when I bought it. And now what you see here is pretty much everything that I've done to it. So first of all, again, 2001 7.3 powerstroke. Now the lift you see here currently, this is a 14-inch lift. I just got this put on. It's maybe been like 2 months now since I got this 14-inch lift put on. I had it done for me by Atlas Suspension. Pretty much everything you're gonna see on this truck, I have done the work myself. The lift is just about the only thing that I got done for me. So I got this 14-inch lift installed for me from Atlas Suspension, like I said, about 2 months ago. 2 brand new Bilstein shocks on each side in the front, and we have brand new single Bilsteins on each side in the back. These are 10-inch overstock leaf springs with a 4-inch drop hanger, so that makes a 14-inch lift in the front, and the rear, which I will show you when I get back there, is 14-inch overstock leaf springs. The tires, of course, are brand new. I got those put on right after the lift. We were running 37-inch tires. Now we are running 40-inch tires. As you can tell, super common, popular tire. You guys already know what these are. Toyo Open Countries 40 1550 R20s. These are 20-inch moto metals, 20 by 12 with a -44 offset. The -44 offset on these wheels is perfect. If I crank the tires all the way 100%, it barely touches the leaf spring. So I'm pretty happy with that. Could do with a little more offset, a little more negative offset, but can't complain. Happy with it overall. So obviously overall, that 14-inch lift is just about one of the biggest upgrades. Actually, it is the biggest upgrade we've made to the truck. It was a game changer getting that done. I've wanted that for a long time. So if you're curious about the size and stuff, that's what we're rocking right there. Now for the bumper, this was a move bumper, which is bought in a kit. So you buy this bumper, it comes in a bunch of different pieces and you weld it up yourself. I have a whole video on assembling and welding this bumper, so you can go ahead and check that out. Now when I bought the bumper, and when you buy a move bumper, it comes with the word move cut out right here. As you can see, I took the move out. I cut a plate out of the bumper like this, and then got this one made for me and welded the whole plate in. No Half-Ass, that is my brand. You can check out nohalfassapparel.com if you're interested. If you'd like to support me and my channel, you can do that by going to nohalfassapparel.com, checking out some apparel. Now the grill I did super early when I bought the truck, and it's still holding up great. I love how it looks. No problems with the grill. $150 Amazon grill, and I believe it's up to about $175 at the point that I'm making this video. Price kind of fluctuates, but you can find the link to that down below in the description. Now these headlights are 2005 to 2007 headlights. They had to be retrofitted in. The 7.3 99 to 04 Super Duty, I should say, comes with a 2-piece headlight, which has your upper headlight here and the side reflector attached to it, and then an orange blinker lens on the bottom. So these are 2005 2007 one piece that I had to retrofit in. Again, I have a whole video on installing that, but you have to cut the back plastic out for these to fit. It's actually a pretty big job, but it wasn't too bad, and I believe the headlight housings were about $100, and then I had to buy a couple other parts to get the job done. Now, by the way, I didn't mention it, but a lot of the parts on this truck are from Amazon, and pretty much everything from Amazon. You can find the link to it down below in the description, and if you're interested in buying it, that's where you can find it. And also, I just want to say real quick, if you enjoy this video, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get back into it. Now moving on, as you can see, I have amp steps, okay, but my amp steps are currently not working right now. I'm pretty sure I've diagnosed the problem and I addressed this in another video. There's a control box up in the engine bay, and when they kind of act up, they were staying up or they were staying down. If I go in the engine bay and I smack that box, they start working. So I'm pretty sure it's that control box. I just have to get a hold of amp and try and see if I can get a new control box. I haven't had the time to do it. Still working on other stuff, doing lots of work. I just moved, for those of you guys that are new here. But yeah, we do have amp steps. Hopefully be getting those fixed here pretty soon. Now these are obviously the updated mirrors. I believe either 2012 to 2016 or like 2008 to 2016, but they sell them on Amazon and they're pretty much a direct bolt up. I did buy the truck with them, but I do know you can buy them and they're direct bolts up to your truck. Now before I go too far towards the back of the truck, I almost forgot to mention my Rough Country dual steering stabilizers. Again, I have a video on pretty much everything I'm going to show you guys today, but I do have a video on installing these dual steering stabilizers, and I believe they were about $100 flat for those, and I'm pretty happy with them. They definitely worked. They definitely helped with like bump steer and stiffen up the steering and stuff like that. Now these are still the factory F250 badges. I just painted it black. I actually taped it off and painted it black while still on the truck, and you know, you could definitely tell that it was painted, but from here it looks fine. Now we have our 7.3 liter powerstroke badges, again from Amazon. I don't remember exactly how much they are, but the link is down below, and I don't believe they were that much. Now as we come towards the back of the truck, we have a beautiful dent in the bedside. that's been there since I bought the truck. Unfortunately, I bought it with this dent. Something I haven't been able to get to. I did have it kind of checked out by a paint shop, and they said that the paint is kind of cracked, and it hasn't gotten any worse since I bought it. It's been exactly the same way since I got it, so that's good. But they did say if they try and pop this out, the paint will probably crack, in which case I would need to get the whole bed repainted. Now ideally I'd like to get the whole truck repainted one day anyways, so eventually when I'm ready to get the whole truck repainted, I'll have them do that at the same time. But just being honest with you guys, it's not a perfect truck. Got a dent there, oh well. As for the taillights, these are tinted taillights that I bought on eBay. Unfortunately, they are no longer available. I have checked a couple times because people ask me about them. They're no longer available on eBay. They believe they're about $100 for the pair. Now these actually have built-in lights, and they have a wiring harness coming out of it that plugs into where your factory brake light bulb plugs into. So you don't have any replaceable light bulbs in there. They're all built-in lights. So unfortunately, when those lights go out, you have to just replace the entire tail light housing. You can't really replace any bulbs. It still has the reverse light bulb in there, but all the brake light bulbs are built into it. Now the bumper is a 2008 to 2012 bumper. We actually just put that on not that long ago, right after we got the truck back from the lift shop, and it did come black, but I painted it white, and that was about $230 on eBay, and it was a direct bolt up. For anybody that's interested in doing that, it does make a huge difference in my opinion. That updated bumper looks way better. I know I need to do the tailgate. I know I'm gonna get a lot of people telling me to do the tailgate. I know, I plan on doing it. We'll get there. Now this is a custom made drop hitch that I built myself. For those of you guys that are new here and don't know, I'm a welder, so I actually took a pre-existing trailer hitch. This was welded onto here, and I cut it, and I built this extension out of some square tubing and put a 1/4-inch stiffener on the back and welded it all up, painted it and everything. So I actually made that myself. I actually did use it to move my trailer to my new house, but I really also just keep it there for looks. I think that drop hitch looks great on the back of this big lifted truck, I am not gonna lie. So yeah, there's that. Now that's really a majority of the big cosmetic upgrades that we've done. Now there is the tinted third brake light, as you can see there. That wasn't very expensive at all. I don't remember exactly how much it was. I think that is down below in the description. The no half-ass decal is again my brand, and you can actually purchase that no half-ass back window decal on my website, nohalfassapro.com, as I mentioned. As you guys saw, I have remote start. It is a Viper remote start and alarm that came on the truck when I bought it. We also have LED backup lights. I have those wired into my reverse, so when I put the truck in reverse, those backup lights automatically come on. We have one on each side. We have a backup camera, as you can see there. So that's kind of a lot of the little stuff. We're gonna get more into some of the other stuff I've done, like performance upgrades and stuff like that. Real quick, also want to mention, I just did this, I think my most recent video. Go check it out if you didn't see it. But we just put rock lights in the wheel wells. We got 2 rock lights in each wheel well, and it came with both a button in the cab and a Bluetooth controller, so I can actually turn these on from outside the truck anytime with the Bluetooth controller. So go check out that video if you didn't see it. I also have another pair of these rock lights that I'm actually going to put behind this, inside the bumper behind the no half fast, and I'm going to tie them into the running lights, so that way every time I turn the truck on and the running lights are on, the no half fast will be lit up with 2 rock lights. I think that'll look pretty cool. That should be coming pretty soon, maybe even be my next video. Now, like I said, getting into performance upgrades, and this is actually one of my most popular videos on YouTube, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But we have a 5-inch straight pipe on the truck. Now, as you can see, it is just cut right there behind the rear axle. It was not like that when I installed it, of course, but the way the exhaust wrapped around this way, they had to cut it in order to install the 14-inch lift because the exhaust hit the leaf springs. So I have the old piece that kind of had the bend in it this way. I'm gonna see if I can't use that to create an axle dump. Now, I know for a lot of you guys that watch my videos, you've heard me mention that a few times. Again, I am waiting on getting 220 ran in my garage, so that way I can get a welder in there and go ahead and weld that up. Until I get a welder set up, I really don't want to do it at work. It's a lot of hassle trying to weld stuff on my truck at work. I'd rather just wait till I get a welder here at home and go ahead and take care of that here. By the way, along with subscribing to my channel, you should also follow me on Instagram right there. Same name as YouTube, but no space. Subscribe and follow. Do it now. Do it now. We're gonna start talking about some engine stuff, engine upgrades that we got. I'm gonna pop the hood, but before I actually go under there, first I'll show you. As you can see here, we have the Hydra. So for those of you guys that aren't aware, this is pretty much what's known as the best type of chip or tuner you can get for a 7.3. And I gotta say, I pretty much agree. Having had 3 different types of chips and tuners on this exact truck since I've owned it. When I bought the truck, it came with the Edge tuner on it, and the Edge tuner I did not like at all. Anytime I got real heavy on it and the RPMs got real high, the service engine light came on. So I got rid of that Edge pretty much as fast as I could. I did run it for a couple months and I switched to a Super Chips. Now the Super Chips, I did like the Super Chips for the tow modes because the transmission did shift a lot more firmly in the tow modes with the Super Chips, especially even more so than the Hydra. But as an overall performance tuner and capabilities and ease of use, I guess is the way I could say it, the Hydra is the best. Now the Hydra is great because it has on-the-fly switching. The Super Chips did not have that. I had to plug the Super Chip into the OBD2 with the truck off. I had to turn the truck on, turn it off, turn it on, switch my tune, turn it off, turn it back on, and it would take like a few minutes to download. This is on-the-fly switching tunes at any time. It's great. You can switch back to stock at any time. It has a low idle, has a high idle, it has a no start, which is like a kill switch, so that can really help because it can help you from getting your truck stolen. So I like the Hydra. Now I have a whole video on the performance gains that we got from it, where I did a 0 to 60 on stock, a 0 to 60 with the Super Chips, and a 0 to 60 with the Hydra, I believe in a 100 horsepower tune. I actually drive around in a 140 horsepower tune. I just don't get real heavy on it, but when I did the 0 to 60, I did it in a 100 horsepower tune, so you can see exactly how much better it was. It was faster than the Super Chips in that tune. And I have a video of the install process and how to download tunes and everything. Now, as you can see here, this is an Edge monitor that I have. This allows me to track my RPMs, my miles per hour, my fuel economy. Now the fuel economy is obviously probably not super accurate, but it does help me kind of track it and know, you know, when I'm using a lot more fuel at a certain mile per hour, certain speed on the freeway and stuff like that. And it has battery voltage levels and all kinds of cool stuff. Now real quick before we actually start showing under the hood, I almost forgot. This is one of the best upgrades I've made to my 7.3. Hands down, I recommend this to everybody with a 7.3. Even if your 7.3 starts good, I recommend this upgrade. And that is this high torque starter right there. Now, if I remember correctly, this was only $100 off of Amazon, you guys. This high torque starter is seriously one of the best upgrades I've ever made to this truck. The truck fires up so fast, as you guys probably saw and maybe noticed in the beginning when I did the remote start. That high torque starter, amazing. I recommend it, especially, you know, a lot of the upgrades that I've done in this truck are really expensive. That is a $100 starter, and the truck fires up so fast with it. I couldn't recommend it more. Everybody right now needs to put one of those on their truck. All right. Now that we're up the ladder, as you guys can see under the hood, we have an upgrade alternator. I did this very early on after I bought the truck. Now, it did come blue. I did not paint it blue. I believe it is a DB electric alternator. Again, I did it a long time ago. This was $300 off of Amazon. It's funny, actually, a lot of the upgrades I've done to this truck were $300. The edge monitor, the Hydra, the 5-inch straight pipe, and this alternator, and I might even be missing one more thing, were all like seriously $300 exactly each. But anyways, this is a 200 amp output alternator. I believe the stock one is a 120 amp output alternator, so 200 amps, significantly higher than the stock one. Now, for our intake, when I bought the truck, it had a K&N oiled filtered intake on it, so I had a lot of people telling me that I did not want that oiled intake on it, so I took the intake filter off. I bought this AFE intake filter. This was, I think, $90 on Amazon, and I just simply took off the K&N filter and put this AFE filter on the K&N intake tube. Eventually, I might get an enclosed box cold air intake, but to be completely honest with you, this thing seems to work pretty great, and I'm pretty happy with it. So for now, that's what I have there. And then as you guys can see here, this is a pretty recent video as well. If you guys did not see it, go check it out. But I just painted our intercooler pipes and our turbo spider candy blue. Just did this. It was a pretty good video. A lot of people liked it. I think it looks pretty good, especially with that alternator in there. Now, I always seem to forget to mention this in my other videos, but we do have this air intake heater delete plug. Did that super early on as well. That was really cheap. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it was super cheap, like maybe $12 or $15 for that plug. Super easy thing to do. Now, back here behind the turbo spider, you can see that silver tube right there. That is a high pressure oil crossover. Probably won't be able to get to a view of the other side, but it basically goes from one head to the other, and it allows the high pressure oil to pass over from head to head more easily. So it actually makes your engine idle a lot smoother and run smoother. I actually noticed a difference in the smoothness of acceleration in my truck after I put that on, and I believe that tube was about 80 bucks, so pretty happy with that. Now, for those of you guys that are curious about kind of like the truck itself, I did buy the truck. Let me climb up here. I did buy the truck with 132,000 miles. I've had it for maybe 3 years, and as you can see there, 147,000 miles. So I've only put about 15,000 miles on this truck in 3 years, average about 5,000 miles a year. So I don't drive it really far that often. I do daily drive it. I take it to work pretty much every single day. I do have my Honda Civic daily driver, but I just love driving my truck. I don't mind paying the extra for the diesel and poor fuel economy. I drive my Honda when I'm going to a job site that I don't want to take my truck to for whatever reason, but for the most part, I drive my truck pretty much every day. I just don't usually have to go very far with it. Now, I just remembered a couple of things that I did to the truck that I almost forgot to mention, which this one does make a big difference, you guys, in my opinion, on the overall look of the truck. If you take a step back here and you take a whole look at the truck, obviously there's a lot of major upgrades done to the truck, but a really small thing that makes a big difference. Now, first of all, as you can see, I did a pretty much full chrome delete. Took off the chrome front bumper, took off the chrome rear bumper, took out chrome wheels, put black wheels, and the chrome grill black. You know, I did a whole white on black scheme, got rid of all the chrome. So a big thing that you're going to want to do if you're trying to build a truck is kind of find a color scheme and make the truck kind of have its own color scheme. Like I said, you don't want to have a bunch of different colors or factory chrome grill with a bunch of different color things, you know what I mean? So that's one thing I recommend. But a big thing that I recommend doing on these trucks is removing the door trim. Now, you might not have noticed it, but you might notice your truck, if you haven't done any work to it, has a plastic piece that goes across the doors right here. Now, I have 2 videos on that, okay? The first video that I did not do it really right. I did the passenger side, and if I really show you guys up close, you could kind of tell where the door molding used to be. On my second video, I did it more the proper way, and you can't even really tell that I pulled that plastic off, but in my opinion, the truck looks way better without that molding. And then the other thing that I almost forgot to mention that's pretty cool is our oil drain valve. Wait, that's not it. There it is. Oil drain valve. That's pretty cool. I haven't really done an oil change with it yet. I did test it and drain some oil right after I installed it, but this is our oil drain valve. This is a little safety tab. You pull this black safety tab off and just open up the valve right there. You don't have to deal with the drain bolts anymore. That's pretty cool. Again, I have a video on that and the link to it is down below in the description. But this pretty much allows you to change your oil without taking out a drain bowl and getting oil all over your hand. It's super easy and super clean. Another upgrade I would definitely recommend. Now, believe it or not, as much as you see done on this truck, there's still lots of upgrades that I want to do to the truck. For example, I want to upgrade the turbo. If I'm going to upgrade the turbo, I actually looked in there. Check this out. Check out, I took this picture today. As I'm making this video, I took this picture today. That is my up pipe. See all that soot on it? I mean, we already know these trucks, the factory design with those up pipe connections, they almost always leak. So we see that we obviously have a leak in our up pipes. So if I take the turbo out, I'm going to upgrade the up pipes as well. If the turbo is also going to be out during that time, or when the turbo is out, then I want to do the exhaust back pressure valve delete. So that involves a new turbo pedestal. I will probably do new riffraff intercooler boots. So I'll buy the whole riffraff intercooler boot kit and put new intercooler boots all over everything, along with the turbo, up pipes, and new pedestal. So that's going to be a big upgrade. To be honest with you, it's going to cost a lot. So I'm kind of thinking, I don't want to say I'll do it when I get to 5,000 subscribers, because 5,000 subscribers is coming up quick. But maybe if you guys really do hit that subscribe button right now and we get to 5,000 subscribers quick, that's when I'll go ahead and take care of all that. It's going to be all done at once. I'm not going to do all those in different stages, because it'll be better to do all at once when everything comes out and goes in together. So that's to come. Other stuff too, of course, I do want to put some track bars, some rear track bars. As you can see, I don't have any track bars on this truck. They were not deleted. People ask me about it all the time. The track bars were not taken off when I got the lift put on. I bought the truck without track bars. I don't know if it ever came with track bars from the factory. I don't know. Some people say their truck has it, and a lot of people say theirs doesn't on these old 7.3s. I don't really know what to tell you about that, but I don't have any, but I plan on putting some on. We need to do a re-gear eventually. There's lots of stuff I still need to do to the truck, along with I want to get some other projects in the future one day. I mean, I just want a lot of stuff. I want a lot of cars, a lot of projects, a lot of builds. I want a Ford Ranger pre-runner. I want a Corvette. There's tons of other stuff. I'm not even going to go off rambling, naming all the freaking projects and cool cars that I want. Go check out some of my other videos. I have over 100 videos uploaded onto YouTube working on my truck and doing upgrades to this truck. Over 100 videos, so go check them out. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.